Thank you very much. She almost walked off with what I was going to say, which probably was a good thing. Okay, let's see, Sam, right. Okay, good. It says here, it's a true pleasure and honor to have been asked to introduce Sam Dunlop as a candidate for the State Assembly, and it is, actually. I first knew Sam when he was a student in a literature class here at St. Norbert College, one I took over in mid-semester, and I've never forgot him from that class because he sat in the back and in the corner and said very little. But he's been talking more since. Okay. Anyway, he consulted me at the time about a possible run for a seat on the De Pere Council. Fortunately, he also consulted some other people, and in spite of my advice, Sam went on to win a very close race in spring of his junior year at St. Norbert. 2 years later, he did not consult me at all. He ran for re-election and won by a huge margin. In over 100 years of St. Norbert College's existence, Sam was the first and still the only student to be elected to De Pere's Common Council. Well, I was thrilled to see Sam win, but I think a good part of the community, as well as 7 other alderpersons, wondered, how is this young guy going to do? How's he going to work out? 4 years of stellar service passed as Sam steadily evolved from an at first quiet alderperson into one whom we all greatly respected, listened to, and responded positively to his thoughts, ideas, comments, and proposals. Sam had become an alderperson who wisely picked his places to speak at council meetings, and when he spoke, we listened. When Sam addressed an issue or topic, he spoke in a moderate but firm tone. He spoke thoughtfully, in a comprehensive, rational, convincing, and ultimately persuasive manner. Residents of any community, especially today, rightly are concerned about having good services, but they're also very concerned about keeping their taxes and government costs under control. Sam always has worked hard to keep costs low for the city of De Pere, for taxpayers. At the same time, if he felt a service to the public was needed, justified, good for De Pere, both for the present and in the future, he wouldn't back off just to not spend money. It was Sam's habit to look for and suggest ways to control spending to get the best possible deal for the money. Sometimes Sam supported an idea, proposal, project, approach because it simply made good sense. Sometimes it was acted out of compassion. But mostly, he would act as he did because it was the right, the decent, the ethical, the moral, the necessary thing to do. When Sam elected to not run for a third term on the city's Common Council, I think all of us on the council were disappointed. Although I miss his presence at council meetings, I look forward to having a person of his caliber working for a better Wisconsin. So how is Sam qualified to serve as a state assemblyman? I have 4 ideas on this. First, theoretically, Sam majored in political science at St. Norbert College. So he has a pretty good idea of the scope of this science, political science, historically and currently. Secondly, his experience in city government gave him a very down-to-earth practical training in what makes government work well and for the welfare of all citizens. Thirdly, I believe he will bring a sound civility to the State Assembly. One of the factors I personally most enjoy and admire about De Pere's Common Council is how well we all get along with one another. Even when we strongly disagree, there's no rancor, no lingering anger. Rather, we get along, remain friends, continue to talk, laugh, joke with one another. That atmosphere is one that should prevail among reasonable, thoughtful, caring people. Sam will bring that background of civility with him to Madison. Fourth, Sam is well acquainted with this district he would represent. As was mentioned earlier, he grew up in Alloway, attended and graduated from Green Bay's Preble High School, spent 4 years at St. Norbert College, and since graduating, he has continued to live in De Pere. Sam knows this district, its people, concerns, and needs. In sum, then, Sam Dunlop strikes me, and I hope you, as a fair-minded, decent, intelligent, thoughtful, innovative, experienced individual who will bring what we need, fresh energy, fresh ideas, and refreshing approaches to his role as a state assemblyman. At the same time, he possesses an appreciation of and respect for our history, traditions, hopes, and needs. This is the balance that Sam Dunlop will bring to our state assembly. Now is the time for progress over partisanship. Now is the time to elect a public servant, not a career politician. Now is Sam's time and now it's our time to support his candidacy for 4th District Assemblyman. Thank you very much.